5 warning issued, submitted by Chief Mulaney. Old business, Diving Unlimited International. Did anybody have any questions for Richard, since he's here tonight?
I got 2 things.
So,
First of all, I don't know if we discussed it the last time, but I don't know, this is a for-profit business. And I want this to happen. I think it should happen, and I think we can somehow get around this to make it happen. It's a for-profit business, and we're giving our blessing to go up and use the village park. It's a holiday weekend. I know it's in October, but it is a holiday weekend. And I don't know how the village, if the village can give a for-profit business use of village property like that. For them, obviously, to sell wares and make a profit. I mean, but we do that for the bikers weekend and all that.
no, there's nothing for sale.
Well,
This is a
he's selling.
demonstration. If you want to buy something, you have to go to your local shop. The people from Syracuse, they might come up here, do this demonstration, this trial. If they want one, they have to buy it from a local shop in Syracuse.
I understand that, but Diving Unlimited is sponsoring someone, this wetsuit provider.
Well, they make them.
Okay, then they're a for-profit business.
Oh, obviously, yes.
Maybe you can't buy it there, but somehow I could come home or maybe say, come on over here and procure this. My thing is I don't want to open up a can of worms by allowing a for-profit business to go in up there and use that and then open up this big can of worms. I don't know how we can get around that.
Mark, how does that work?
Well, I mean, this has been an issue we've had before. We've had people, well, I shouldn't say you. I've had this issue before in other communities. I can't remember right now if it was here or somewhere else, okay? But we've had people, particularly this time of year, who are tax preparers who want to use like a room like this to prepare taxes, but it's their business to prepare taxes. And in a case like that, most of the communities that we work with are going to say no because they feel it competes with some local person who actually rents a space or owns a space and runs their business. On the other hand, you do have people who are in it to make money who come to help support certain community events you have. Certainly when you have like Bikers Weekend, you may have other vendors in town who are here for the weekend, specifically just to support the activities that were there, selling food or whatever it may be. If you go to some other communities where they have arenas, you see this all the time. I mean, Clayton has antique shows and people are selling their antiques and all kinds of other shows, and it brings people into the community. And so on the theory that it's promoting other things in the community as well, they allow it. You just need to have some sort of a policy about how you're going to do this, so it's applied fairly to everybody. I've had people who have like ball fields or other places. Generally, the concessions there are run by people who are doing it on a not-for-profit basis. It's Little League or it's somebody else that are doing it on a not-for-profit basis to support their not-for-profit use. But I think there was at least one that was a for-profit organization that was doing it, but it was basically a rental. They were paying a fee or a commission for the use of the space. And I guess you have to decide what you want to do in that respect. If you were going to rent out space, you got a commission or get paid for it, and you do it on a regular basis, it could change the character of the property from being one which is tax exempt to one which is taxable. So you need to be a little careful about
I think if, I could just interject, and I saw Kay here earlier, back when Kay and I were both on the board, when the Empire Bolt Lines was in business, there was a lot of dialogue going on at the time about Quackenbush using the village park and the village dock, the Upper Town dock, to load and offload passengers on. And I believe if you look back, I don't know, Kay, you'd have to help me out here, however many years ago, that there's already some dialogue about for-profits doing business at the park.
I have a question. Have they contacted like River Edge, Bonnycastle, Boardwalk, Edgewood?
I was asked that question, and I referred them to the Chamber of Commerce, so I don't know if they have contacted. They asked if there were places to stay, and I mentioned, yes, we have many. And they wanted about places to eat and party, and I said, yes, we have some nice restaurants in the village. And I did direct them to the Chamber of Commerce to get a better feel of what's in the village. But that's up to them to find their places to stay, not up to me.
No, I meant to hold the function, like to dive off of Edgewood or Bonnycastle or Edgewood or River Edge.
I don't know if they've contacted them. When
And have the
Terry
whole-
Robb was mayor, remember, we got this thing down, and I contacted the point of contact in Canada, and they got a hold of the folks in California, and they chose Rawlins, Virginia over us. So this time, they came right straight to Canada, then down to me, and I presented to the board.
Richard, were they going to dive off the dive park end, or
The beach,
they're gonna dive off
they want
the
the
beach?
beach.
They want the beach.
Yes, because if you step off in this suit and it's not inflated right, you could have some problems. I've been there, done that. So that's why we're gonna walk in, people doing the demonstration, and they will learn up to their waist probably, and there will be certified people with them as indicated on the flyers that I left you guys. And they are insured.
Yes, I see that.
And the ones that's going to be making the money is really going to be the restaurants, the bars, the motels where they choose to stay. And when the participants come down, that's up to them to find a place to stay. Hopefully go through the Chamber of Commerce and give everybody a fair shake.
Is there any way to find out from this Diamond Unlimited if they have contacted any of the businesses that they could stay at and hosted at their facilities versus the park?
Well, they're not gonna be able to, because they're not gonna have the beach like Richard's talking about. They want that slow.
He's absolutely right. They want a slow walk in. The beach is the best spot to go.
I think that at Bonnycastle, we used to have a beach there. And at Edgewood, they have a beach. You know, I don't wanna compete with the hotels that are in business to,
Well, they're gonna have to
That's what they
stay
do.
some, they're gonna have to, I'd hate to say no and lose the whole thing and lose all the guests.
Mhm.
These people are gonna be coming in on Friday, and they're here Saturday and Sunday. Now, obviously, they're gonna have to stay somewhere. Somebody's gonna have to stay somewhere, eat somewhere, and do this somewhere.
You want to eat somewhere too?
And eat somewhere. I see they are serving lunch both days. That's kinda competitive with the,
The way I
Didn't
read
you say the
that
Legion was gonna
is
do
they
that?
want to basically get food and provide it to their people, the participants, sort of as a complimentary thing.
Right, it's included in the
Pardon?
$10. It says it's included in their $10 fee or whatever is
Yes.
the barbecue, so.
Right. Now, if they don't want whatever they're putting out, probably hamburgers and hot dogs, they can go down to the corner and get pizza and chicken and whatever else. Or down to the ice cream shop, you know. They're gonna be free to do some roaming around the village.
So what do we wanna do? Does someone wanna make a motion to accept their request?
Steve, I will send an email and ask them if they have checked, but, you know, you guys don't meet till 1 month from now.
I'd like to postpone it and let him contact the group to see if they can get River Edge, Bonnie Castle, or somebody to host it versus the Village Park.
I'm afraid the next place they're gonna look at, Brockville. Because the guy I talked to in Canada, he's trying to get it up there in Brockville, so in one sense, he's helping me, and at the same time, he's also hindering me, or hindering us. Because he tried to get all the people to stay up to Brockville, and he's gonna bus them back and forth. And I called down to California, over to California personally, and said, that's not a good idea, you're crossing international boundaries, and, you know, why bus them, and they can stay right here.
Do you wanna make a motion to table this until the next meeting?
How about this?
Yeah,
How about,
this one, as Mark was saying, the Clayton has the arena, which is a unique facility they have, which helps the entire village and town. That beach there, anybody that's ever used a dry suit, you go in wrong, all the air goes to your feet, it's like you're fishing for bullheads with your feet up in the air. And, it can be very dangerous, so you got a unique situation at the beach that's not available at Bonnie Castle, River Edge, or anywhere else. It's nice and gradual, it's sand, it's very safe, and, you know, they are going to stay somewhere, they are going to eat. It is October, and I don't think usually, I mean, you don't have lifeguards that time of year because nobody uses it for swimming. So it seems like it'd be a great use for an asset, a unique asset that wouldn't be used otherwise. It'd be different if it was 4th of July, everybody's saying that, but
Ronnie,
I believe
you,
it's like Columbus Day weekend.
you would know, is there a lot of people in the village for Columbus Day weekend using,
It's
typically, what's,
fairly busy, but it's not real bit, it's slow in September, that's the last busy weekend. But there's room for them to be there, and my guess would be that time of year, the village park is probably underutilized as opposed to July and August when it would be, you know, very crowded. I don't think it would have a negative impact, I think people probably enjoy watching it, especially if somebody makes a couple mistakes and somebody's gotta help somebody there. Everybody knows what that's like.
Right, and by the way, I have had, to me, exactly what Mr. Thompson's, I stepped off into the Islander, right there by the hospital, and my air, for some reason, went to my feet, and I went up 47 feet first, and you wanna talk about getting scared? And I popped up and yelled, and my two buddies dragged me in, so I didn't make it.
I don't think the insurance here was a use at all for that time of year anymore.
I'm gonna make a motion to pass it.
Okay, motion by trustee Jarvis to accept Diving Unlimited's, I guess, request to host their event here.
I'll second it.
Seconded by trustee Henry, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Wanna go ahead?
Go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Hogan,